Love is a way of building to a crescendo. Ride if you will, ride it with me. Good morning, everyone. I took apart the DF64 last night and I cleaned it up. So I'm going to put it back together now. I imagine, you know those parents, those fathers, they're assholes, aren't they? I mean, the ones that intimidate the daughter's date. You know what I mean? The ones that intimidate their daughter's date by showing off their gun collection. Look here, son. Look at all my guns. Look at them all hanging here. Here's my gun safe. Let me open the gun safe. Look at my guns. Look at all my ammo, son. And then I want you to think about that. I mean, it's a cliche, but this whole world has turned into such a terrible cliche, and people still do that nonsense in 2025. I'm the kind of person, if I had a daughter, and she brought a boy home for the first time, I'm the guy, instead of cleaning my gun in my rocking chair, I'd have my DF64 apart in my lap, in my chair, brushing out coffee grounds, methodically. You touch my daughter, and I'm gonna make you a cup of coffee. Ridiculous. Those tropes were always fucking weird. And it was really funny, because I went on, in my high school, I went on 2 dates. Both were prom dates. And I guarantee the father of both of the ladies that I took out knew he had zero. He had zero to worry about. Even though I, had no reckoning of who I was, or that's where I want you, just a little bit past. And we'll just stick that there, tighten it up. But yeah, I'd be the parent that's like taking apart all their coffee equipment when the young man walks in. Come on over here. I want to show you. my it's like a combination of Tough Guy and Johnny Carson. Let me show you some of my amazing, a little Sean Connery thrown in for good luck, Come on in here. Let me show you. Let me show you my geisha. Oh, God. Well, I needed that little laugh, honestly, because I just thought of that, because when I was about to put this thing back together, I just thought of the fact, God, those guys that do that horrible thing with the kids that, the adult men who probably back in the 70s and 80s could not be trusted. These days, kids are somewhat smarter than we used to be and understand how homicide works. Back then, the same parents that are doing it to their kids now, probably not smart enough to realize, Yeah, just a little, I don't know, bittersweet, kind of. I've been talking about Granddad and Grandma's house down in Florida. It's now in contract. Mom told me yesterday a couple wish to move in by late November. So they're in contract now. So that's gone, basically. It's gone. The house down there that I visited for 25 years, with both grandparents and then with Granddad, several times helping him take care of Grandma, trying to get her situation figured out. And then, all of that, it's all gone. It makes me sad. Ocala's not a bad place. Sure, it takes you, the speed limits are horrendous. it takes you like 45 minutes to go across town, because Ocala is a sprawling place filled with lots and lots of things. It is far more diverse than I'm sure a lot of the people that live there want to admit. And you know, it's a nice town. It's in the middle of everything. 2 hours to one coast, 2 hours to the other coast. I mean, it's what, 6 hours to Miami, and then another 6 hours down to the Keys. Ask me how I know, because I drove. I think it was the 12 hours straight down to the Keys. The first time we did it, Matt and I did it, and we rented a car. It was a Hyundai, and it didn't have cruise control. And he had never functioned in a car on the highway that didn't have cruise control. His cars always had cruise control. So, and mine did not. You know, I grew up without cruise control. The first car that had cruise control for me was what was it? Was it an '09 Mitsubishi Rally Art Sportback? That was the first cruise control I ever experienced in '09, and I had been driving since like 1993. I'd never experienced cruise control in a vehicle. So, you know, I'm used to cruising at highway speeds, understanding where the gas pedal needs to be in order to maintain a 65, 70, 75. Back in those days, it was 65, was the max speed limit on highways. In Ohio. That's changed a little bit. But, so I, you know, cruise control, you know, he could not function. He had a heart, his leg would start cramping up. So I had to drive the rest of the way, and you know, it was easy, but at the same time, you know, at that point, we hadn't done much traveling together. I think the rental car thing befuddled us a little bit. He's like, well, I don't know if you should be driving since my name's on the blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it's like, you know, as long as we don't get into an accident, it doesn't matter. But what if we get into an accident? All of the what ifs. Oh, good. I remember to put it out. We're almost done anyway, but we'll. But yeah, so a couple has gone into contract. Less than what mom originally put it up for. Where did I put there it is. Less than mom, what she originally put it up for. But she wanted to get rid of it. And what they're going to make out of it is enough to give all four sisters, including mom as the fourth sister, something out of the property being sold, which was the goal. The goal was to, sell the property and give the sisters something, because Granddad did not have a lot of money. He didn't have anything saved. I could have sworn at one point he had stuff in like CDs and invested and stuff like that. I don't know where that money might have went. It doesn't matter to me, and honestly, it doesn't matter to Mother either. But it's just interesting to think about, at one point they had money, and she worked until she did have a retirement party where she understood what was going on. So she worked until just before things started happening to her. So, yeah. Okay, so just take a break from the sadness for a minute. Still got the biker blend out here. I don't know how this is going to go. This might be, this might put me on the floor, gasping for breath. I don't know. But we're going to do about 17 grams of this wonderfully wonderful smelling coffee. I want one more bean. I am going to spritz it because I found out yesterday the oil that's on there, and look how shiny. I mean, it is a shiny boy right there. The shiny sets of boys and girls and they, thems right there is what those are. all coexisting together. It's easy if you try. As shiny as they are, they still, the waxy shine because the water immediately beat it up on it. I'll try to get something going here. I don't know if it's going to work or not. All right. I'm at a 15 on the DF. Alrighty. Let's move you aside for a mo. All of this as well. So yeah, it's sad because that just opens everything up. It doesn't just, it doesn't just open up slowly. I mean, when the gap opens, it's like, poof, regardless of where you got the arms, which is actually kind of funny and very interesting at the same time. All right, so let's give this the old college try. Yeah, since 2001, my first plane flight was the last time the airport was normal. I went through a checkpoint, and my parents could come with me and sit there at the place where you got on the plane. They came with me because this is the first time I ever flown a plane, and I wasn't afraid as much as I think they were probably afraid. They just wanted to experience stuff because, I don't know how often they had taken commercial flights before then. I don't think Dad had. I think Dad flew mostly in military aircraft. Flew in, not like as a pilot, but as a soldier in the back of the plane, hauling around equipment to various places. So why does that stick and not stay? All right, well, I guess that'll do. All right. So, you know what? We'll just do that. So I'm not worrying about it. A lot of memories, and I miss them very much. They were my family, they're the grandparents that I knew the longest. My grandmother on my father's side died in like 1982 or 83, so I didn't know her very well. Grandad West died in Grandad West died in 91. I was like 13, so my memories of him are there, but vague. I remember the house more than I remember him, to be honest with you. The house was a farmhouse where very few of the rooms had anything were occupied, so they were like covered in cobwebs. So it probably has the reason why cobwebs to this day are a no thank you for me. So, all right, get that started, get this going, see what we can get out of this. Let's just keep the pressure steady. I don't want to get her up to a 5 and then just hold it there. Good even pressure. May have been packed a little too tight. Of course, it also may have been ground a little too fine for the... I think it dripped way too much. We may want to do another take of this. I think it dripped way too much before it coffee started coming out. We'll take it down. We'll take it down to like a 20. Yeah, 24 grams out. That's a little much. The pressure is still dying down too. So it may have been just a little bit too finely ground and perhaps too tightly packed. We're not going to get much more than 26 grams out of this. So we'll just back it up. I'm not even going to try it. Let's pour some more water through, see what happens. What does this taste like when you do it twice? It always seems like you should just do it once, you know? If you do it more than once, then something's not going to be right for you, you know? Just doing it twice. What a noise. What a noise. Just doing it twice. Make it taste awful. Yeah. I mean, incredibly bitter, which is what I expected anyway, because of the roast level and the oiliness of the beans. I felt like that was going to be a definite maybe to happen there. So let me clean this off. Try to, oh shit. I got it all over the handle now. I'm going to towel and towel that off so that it's dry. But yeah, Mom told me that yesterday. They got back great. Everything was fine when they got home because they went down to Georgia. Everything went well. My nephew graduated from basic training. My middle nephew, there are 3 nephews and the middle one, went directly into basic training. Stayed with them for a couple days and then went directly into AT, advanced training, for whatever he's going to get into. I'm just glad. I knew he was going to. I mean, whatever he applies himself to, he's going to do well in. I think that that's just a given. All 3 of those boys, when they apply themselves to something that they want to do, that they are going to enjoy doing, it is damn hard to stop them from succeeding. All right, second try. Much finer grind espresso. I guess I'm just more afraid that I'm not going to be able to keep any. Oh, wow. Yeah, that went right through very easily. This is the part where if we wanted to, we could take 45 minutes to dial in something that meets some kind of criteria that I've made up in my mind. The pressure's dropping really fast, and it didn't push out much more water. So like I said, what we would probably do is we would take it, because that was super easy, but we didn't have much water come through. So what I would probably do is, as opposed to it being super hard at a 15, I'd probably take it down to a 17. I mean, we got 28 grams out with 17 grams in. It probably won't be awful. Maybe. Well, you know, I've been wrong before. There's an interesting saltiness to it. Actually, that's very fascinating. There is an interesting saltiness to it. I don't know why. Well, let's just add, let's see how much we got in here, huh? How much do we have? 26.8. Let's make that, see if we can make that 52. 55. 55 on the dot. It makes it easier. Still salty though. Why is it salty? That's weird. Normally there's hints of things, like hints of notes. Is there notes? The notes of chocolate, notes of caramel, notes of strawberries, notes of cherries, notes of raspberries, notes of whatever, sawdust. There is a definite tang of salt hitting the front of the tongue. It's not unpleasant, and this is not unpleasant, but it is different. I wasn't ready for that. It's okay though. It's all right. Anyway, so yeah, I just, she told me that last night, and I'm like, she told me that the house was in contract, so, it's like sad. I miss my grandparents. I miss traveling down to visit with them. I miss all the places that they took me. They took me to so many places around Florida because they had been there over the 20 years that they had already been there. And they're like, you have to come see this place. It's amazing. Let's go to the Gulf of Mexico. It's amazing. Look at this soft-shelled blue crab place on the Gulf of Mexico, where they harvest, they farm. They have a farm where they pull the blue crab out, and then it's all you can eat blue crab. It was amazing. We've been back there once with Mom and my Uncle Chuck and Aunt Pam and Lisa and Richard. We went back once, and it is so far out a road. He actually pulled over in front of us and said, "Are we going the right way?" And I'm like, this is the time when we actually started having GPS on our phones where we could track where we're going. We didn't have an interface for it like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in the infotainment, but we still had the phones that told us where we were going. And I'm like, yeah, we're going in the right direction. We just need to keep going, And it was far, but the food's fantastic. Such a great place to go. There's still a crack in the middle. Something we can work on next week. That seems like fun. We'll work on it next week, see if we can get it dialed in. We can do 2 more tries on Tuesday, see what happens. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. Sorry to be kind of a downer, but at the same time, it's the end. It's the end of that. It's the end of I'm going to be 50 years old next year. I'm going to be 49 in a couple of weeks. We're getting to that point. I'm getting to that point in my life. It's just something you think about, and something I have to think about, because that's where I'm at. And it's just sad when she told me that. I'm glad that it's getting out from underneath her, because she was worried. She's like, the housing market down there is not great. And I'm like, well, And then the realtor is like, well, I'll wait for the snowbirds. Which makes sense, because that's what Mom or Grandma and Granddad were. They were the snowbirds that went down there periodically. And then they just moved there. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this week. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. I'm going to try to get this dialed in. I really want to. I would like everything that I have. I'd like to know where they need to be ground to in order to get water to pass through in a certain way to get what I want. So, and I can still taste the salt. That's wild. Huh. We will talk to you next week. I hope you have a great weekend. May your sports team get a touchdown or score a goal or get the ball in the hoop. I don't know. What time of year is it? Bye.